Hello, and welcome to Moscato and Tea. This is the show for all things beauty, business, and community with your hosts, Inez and Chiquita, keeping it raw, real, and unfiltered.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Just hanging in there, one day at a time.
That's true. That is so true. Let me tell you, we're going into, what is this now? This is just, I don't even remember. It's December now. And we're about to, close out 2020 in a couple more weeks. It just seems like it's been forever. Like this year, it feels like it's lasting more than 365 days.
I agree. This year, I said we lived 20 years in 1 year.
I swear, I know I didn't gain the weight of 20-something pounds or more. So.
I mean, right now it's the COVID, like what they call it, the COVID 20 is real, yeah. Or the COVID 30 or 40, whatever you want to call it. There's people are doing it two ways. They're either losing a ton of weight or they're gaining a ton of weight. And I ended up on the gaining a ton of weight.
Yes, that's so true. That's so true. I'm telling you. I mean, I do my little, walking around, exercising at the park and stuff like that. But overall, I haven't gone back to the gym or anything like that because it's still, kind of a little craziness out there. Have you heard about the supposed join another, lockdown or semi-lockdown closing?
Yeah, but I'm not surprised. I'm surprised they just waited so long to do it.
Mm-hmm.
People aren't listening. People aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I live near a park, and just driving by the park, everybody's without masks. They're walking around. They're doing, they're not doing what it's supposed to be. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to take a little bit of time, just because, this is real, people. It really is real. It's not a joke. It's not something that we should take lightly. It's taking lives. And so I just wanted to do a shout out to my best friend and her family. There are Blues that lost their son, and she lost her brother to COVID. So, it hit close to home, to heart. We've known each other all our lives, and he was like an older brother. So again, the misinformation, the believing that, I don't need to wear a mask and, it's just a flu can cost you your life. So really be adamant and I can't advocate anymore. Wear a mask, do it for yourself and do it for others. Believe in this. And if you feel symptoms, don't think it's like a flu and you can just deal with it at home. You need to go get and seek medical help, with insurance or not insurance. It's your life is more than just some money. So go out there and go get medical treatment. They can't turn you away if you go into emergency. By law, they can't turn you away and say, we can't treat you. It's important. Your life is worth way more than thinking that this isn't real. The effects that, his death and this whole thing has had on their family has been devastating. And it's been devastating for a bunch of families out there who've lost loved ones to COVID. So out there, people, this is real. It's real human lives. It's real people. It's not some fake news that you hear on the news. I don't think we talk about it enough. I think it's kind of like whatever. I need to live my life. If I get it, I get it. And that was kind of like the attitude. Well, I'll get it. No big deal. It's fake. It's this. And it cost him his life. So again, people, like really, really, let's be adamant. Let's educate ourselves and get out there and read and do the research and cover your mask, put on a mask. It's an inconvenience, but it's an inconvenience worth your life.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's one of those things that it kind of has me thinking, we live in California, and what I see a lot of in Orange County, like Huntington Beach, they do a lot of protesting against the mask, and they talk about their rights and all this and that. And what I wonder is the people that are not wearing a mask and how they say it's their choice and all this, don't they, when they get in a car, they wear a seatbelt? And
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
do
of
that
course. But
yourself.
their rationality is, oh well, I could die from a car accident. There's been studies that show that if you don't wear a seatbelt, you can die. Or it's the same person. They're the same people that drink and drive and said, oh, I'm not gonna, I'm never gonna get busted. I'm not, I can drink and drive, and then kill somebody and said, wow, I should have never drink and drived, until it personally affects them in a way that destroys their life. It really, a lot of people are like, oh, whatever, it doesn't affect me. But the reality, it does affect everyone. It affects everyone because we're all humans. And that's what I think people are forgetting. This virus doesn't care what nationality you are, what background you come from, where you live. If you're rich, you're poor, if you're black, you're white, you're Asian, it does not care. What it cares is and how it lives is in a human body. And we're all human. So regardless of your status, regardless of your background, regardless of the whole thing, if you consider yourself a human being, you're a living and breathing specimen, then you should be afraid, and you should be doing everything you possibly could to stay alive and protect others in this time. Because this virus does not care. It don't care if it kills your grandma, your mom, your sister, your baby. It does not care. Because it doesn't have a conscience. It doesn't know any better. It doesn't do anything. We as human beings have a conscience and know better. And it attacks us, and it lives in our bodies, and then we pass it on to others. So shame on us.
Exactly. And
shame on us, not the virus. The virus is doing what it was created to do. Was to destroy and kill. And that's exactly what it's doing. But knowing that, then shame on us for not trying to do everything in our powers to stop that from occurring. And if all it is just a stupid mask to save a life, because to me, it's no big deal. Like anything else we do, is like you work out, right? At first, it's annoying. You get sore. You hate it. But then it becomes a habit, and you see the results, and you're not even tripping. It's the same thing with the mask. Sure, at first it's annoying. We're not used to it. But now, who cares? There is no difference with or without a mask. But the difference of breathing, moving, living your life. The difference is if you don't wear a mask, you could die. That's the difference. Because at the end of the day, I haven't heard of anyone wearing a mask or doing what they're supposed to do, getting COVID and dying from it. What I have heard are people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, not wearing masks, not social distancing, not doing the things that they say causes the COVID to spread, catching it and dying. So if the statistics are right and they're showing that wearing a mask protects you, it's like, a great analogy is a dog. Let's put a dog peeing on you, right? Like if you're wearing flip-flops or if you're barefoot in shorts and a dog pees on you, you're going to feel the dog piss on you. Now, if you put on socks, tennies, long pants, and all of that, you may feel the dog piss on you, but it ain't going to get all over you. It's got to go through 50 million barriers before it gets on you. Now, if you're really protected and you're farther away from the dog, you're not in the dog's mate, and the dog decides, and you got jeans, you got on pants, you got on sweats, socks, tennies, everything, and the dog decides to pee, but you're further away and you're protected, that pee isn't going to hit you. You may get a splatter or a thing, but at the end of the day, guess what? You could take off those clothes and you can wash it, but the pee never hits you. And I think that's why people need to look at this virus and wearing a mask. If you're not socially distancing from people and you have no mask, I mean, it's like the same thing as like stupid, like people are like mono. Yeah, well, if you're sitting there sharing sodas and you're swapping shit, guess what? You're going to get it. Like anything else, like any STD, like anything else. But I don't hear people saying, well, you know what? I am not going to use a condom because I don't care if I get an STD and die. I don't hear anybody saying on the contrary. When AIDS came out, nobody was sitting there saying, oh, fuck that. People were running fear of something that you cannot get airborne.
That's
You
crazy.
legit had to swap bodily fluids to get AIDS, and people were more afraid and did more for that than they are this virus, which is airborne, and all you have to do is breathe. This is what kills me, and I don't understand. This is what has me angry and upset, because people are dying out there unnecessarily due to the fact that the misinformation and people aren't practicing what they're telling us. Since when does the CDC become a joke? Since when? The proof is in the pudding. People are mad because you can't go out to eat in a restaurant. Well, damn, you should be more mad that the fact that you can't go out and breathe fresh air, with the fact that a virus can get into your body and you can pass it to every person in your family, friends, whoever you come in contact, and die.
Yeah.
That's all my piece for today on that situation. Because at the end of the day, family and friends are suffering because people don't want to do what it takes to stop this virus. All we all had to do is do everything we said. It could have been under control.
So in the same vein of COVID and all that craziness going on, with the government, or lack thereof of our government, which is ridiculous and sad, because, we pay our tax dollars and everything, and we, expect things to get done. But unfortunately, they took a break, or what was it, Thanksgiving, they took off for a couple weeks, and people are still, unfortunately, without stimulus checks and COVID relief. And I know it's hit a lot of my family members,
absolutely,
that
it's hit up. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, without work, and I'm having to, help support where I can, and I of course will do that, but it's just like, what is the point in paying our taxes and, putting our money into these systems, and voting these people in? That's why we say vote and look at the people you're voting for, because that's our money, and it should be getting distributed to everybody in the right way, and not being held up from this bureaucratic nonsense. So, but go ahead.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I was going to say, I absolutely agree. This presidential term, it wasn't about the people. It was about himself and the top 1% getting rich. I don't doubt that they knew about this virus. I don't doubt that they put in money in stocks and did all kinds of things to protect themselves and do what they needed to do and make money off of this. Because all of this is all about money. It's not about human lives. Because if it were about human lives, everybody in the United States would have had money, would have been home, would have been safe, and wouldn't have to worry about this. But the fact that people can't work, and they're still saying you can get evicted from your apartment and your living because you can't pay your rent due to a pandemic of no fault of yours. You aren't lazy. You didn't do anything. You just doing you and doing your shit. And now you cannot work, and they're telling you have to stay home, but not giving money, not giving aid. I already said this is some bullshit, and it's all about money, because the reality is the government, we put these people in, they work for us. I don't understand how it could be that we're not sitting there saying, no, I demand you give us our money. If you're going to put us all in a home, stay-at-home orders, everybody gets money. You tell landlords, that means from landlords to everybody, from the top all the way to the bottom, everything stops. Everything stops. The economy's how is the economy going to die when everything stops? There is no, if there's no money flowing anywhere, nowhere, guess what? It stays stagnant. It stays still, right? Give it a couple of months. Let everybody get better. Let this shit people do. Then once you start saying, okay, everybody back to work, and everybody go do, the economy again starts to flourish. But they're making it that the economy needs to survive. There is going to be no fucking economy if you got no people working. Exactly. And you got people dying. What economy is there going to be? Oh, I'm sorry. The top 1% who are price gouging, corporations doing all this stuff, that are doing what they can to keep their money. At the expense of whom? The person, the little people who got them there.
Exactly.
So again, even though, Biden is in and he won, he has a lot to deal with and he has a lot to do.
Yes, he does. He really does. Which kind of goes into, he finally got, I don't know if you saw, first off, this is going to be kind of like a two-parter, hot topics for everybody. But he finally got the certification of transition. So now he can start to actually see what's really going on in every department.
And the fact of the matter that he could decide he wanted to do this is mind-boggling. But then again, everything that's happened, why are we so surprised? He's a child. Nobody has rectified him. I mean, this is crazy. You're putting not only we already, okay, put it this way. The virus already got us, right? And who else is going to come and get us? This transition should have happened. Why? Our national security is at large. What is there not to say that somebody can't come in now with all of this shit going down? Someone decide, you know what? They're vulnerable. Let's start bombing and let's start doing shit like they do to us on their turf. Then what? Then it's going to be like we should have voted Trump in? No, motherfucker. That's not the issue. Yo, dude who didn't do what he was supposed to do is the problem. And that's what caused it.
Held up everything. It blows my mind. The way he blows my mind.
And then the fact of the matter that every single Democrat and every single Republican, shame on you. Shame on every single one of you guys for putting the United States and the people at risk. Shame on every single person who has not stepped up and done what it takes and spoken out. The fact of the matter that one man can control all of this is crazy. So why the hell do we have democracy? What is democratic about what's going on?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Not a thing. Seriously. So, and it's not helping with the Supreme Court. I don't know if you saw the ruling where they approved that in New York, they don't have to, if it's a religious like church or something like that, they can still have crowds and everything come in. And they voted for.
Listen, again, the stupidity of it all. Religion has nothing to do with this damn virus. This is what I don't understand. Do people not understand? It does not care what you could pray to God all you want. But at the end of the day, the virus don't care. The virus don't care. You could get married and say, it's my right to get married. And then the virus come through and be a super spreader and kill everybody at your wedding party. Do you want to live with that? Because you wanted to get married? Or you wanted to go to church? Bitch, please sit at home and do prayer. Get the fuck out of here. My brother, my sister, my pastors, guess what? We got Zoom. Get your congregation together. What? You don't got Zoom? But guess what? Every motherfucker got a cell phone.
Yeah. Better FaceTime.
Okay? You got a FaceTime. You got a cell phone. You could do a call in. Everybody call in, please. And the pastor would do a prayer. Yeah. So don't tell me that there's no way. I could see why this was a problem in the 1900s with no technology and the shit the way it was. But we're in 2020. We got more technology than we can fucking think of. And we still can't get it right. Come on now. It's just selfishness and self-absorbent. And it's all about the me mentality. That's why that's why we're going to be the way we are. And nobody can be mad, but they need to look at themselves in the mirror and be mad at themselves.
Yeah. It's a vicious cycle just going to keep continuing.
Yeah. And then the fact don't people get it that the Supreme Court, the court systems, the government they give zero fucks about you. You have to be the one to give a fuck about yourself. And maybe if you give a fuck about yourself, other people will and follow by example.
People really got to look and research who they're voting for. You know, who they're putting in office, not only as a president, but the local level. Who's your,
Absolutely.
on the city council? Who's your mayor? Like, get to know these people, and really figure out what they're doing. Where is your money going? You want to,
Stop
keep
being
saying
sheep.
your rights and stuff like that and complain about your rights. But who are you, putting your vote towards? Are they helping you preserve your rights if they keep voting against everything you want?
And if popular vote and people voting coming out here and doing all of this doesn't tell you that it works and that our voices count, then we deserve every shit that we get.
Yeah, that's true. It's so true. Well, on that note, we're going to end the first part of this Hot Topics with that. And we're going to be back for another episode soon. Bye, guys.
Right. Bye, guys. Thanks for listening. Take a little time to enjoy your brand of Moscato and tea with us every day. Subscribe, rate, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and moscatoandtea.com.